Hi everybody, this is Dave Vellante. Welcome to CUBEconversations. We've been having a series of conversations with customers on the state of data protection, and we're really pleased to have Jamie Shepard here. He's a Senior Vice President at Lumenate. Jamie, always a pleasure, good to see you.
Same here, Dave.
Now, oftentimes we talk about you as an industry integrator, reseller, technologist. We're going to talk about Lumenate as a customer.
Sure.
You guys are a customer of EMC's data protection. So I want to start there. So talk about the state of data protection at your shop prior to the bringing in Data Domain or Avamar or whatever it is you guys have. We'll talk about that, but what was keeping you up at night at that time?
Yeah, I'll tell you, Dave, the challenges we were having, we're a global company, obviously nationally based out of Dallas. I'm here out of the Boston office, and we were having a challenge with customer data, quite honestly, right? So not only our own data, we have Massachusetts laws we had to adhere to, so we had archive data, we had e-discovery we had to deal with. So it's funny because when I look back at what Lumenate did, we really kind of followed EMC's whole information lifecycle management. Remember when they coined that? So
ILM.
ILM, yeah. So we definitely got involved with that, where we were the prototypical, exchange shop file system. We had our backup target. We actually had an archive target with Centera's on that. We had a lot of NAS, a lot of file systems, heavy Exchange, SharePoint, and SQL. And we had the same challenges everybody else did. My biggest nightmares were twofold. My nightmares that kept me up at night were systems going down and not having that backup that I needed. My business is, if I lose an email, I've lost the deal, that type of thing. So we can't lose that stuff. The other thing is we hold a lot of customer data. Okay, so we have HIPAA, healthcare. I do a lot in healthcare. We have HIPAA requirements. We have a lot of the PHI requirements out there. We're heavily regulated by not only state and federal regulations. We do a lot in SLED. So, we have to adhere to everything, quite honestly. So if we don't have good policies in place, that's the killer. And that was the thing that we did. We live by our four P's of NCUBE, our methodology, and it's process, policy, people, and product last. So
you're eating your own dog food on that.
Had to, and that was the key thing. So we kind of follow that whole thing, but it's evolved into something pretty unique today.
So what specifically did you bring in? What did EMC do? Can you talk about the infrastructure and
Yeah,
what it
EMC
looks like?
didn't have to do too much. As you guys know our model, we're very tight with EMC. We've been doing, we know all of their products A to Z, except D for Documentum. We're not there. But in any event, we basically were the guys that we kind of went down the prototypical way, but we also pushed the envelope in virtualization. So I saw my data center grow, where our old building was.
Right.
Yeah, and same issues, to do two data centers. One was innovation center to do demonstrations, and other one was production. And we'd also replicate between the two, okay? So I was just growing out of space, power, everything. I was adding disk to it, I was adding resources to it, CPU. I needed to consolidate that. So my first approach was, let's upgrade and consolidate. And from there, I wanted to streamline.
Okay, so specifically, what did you guys bring in?
We basically we had two Centera's for archiving. So we archived all of our emails using, at the time, email extender and disk extender, which is now Source One.
Right.
We were in an older Exchange shop. So we were the typical, it's time to do it all together. And we did it all. And we did it in a phase of about 8 months. So what we did first was we brought in Data Domain. Okay, and we brought in 2 Data Domain boxes. We standardized on Networker as a backup platform. We used FLR within our VNXs for the file level retention, and we migrated off of our Centera's. That was a challenge for us, but not a technical challenge, more about how they store things and objects, and
right.
Now we have to bring that back to the data world, so it was almost like a rehydrate of our archive, but I had to get the Centera's out of there. The beauty for me for Data Domain was, we have limited resources like a lot of guys. As much as we do a lot, we're in the field a lot helping customers, so I can't really manage IT. I wanted it to manage itself, so if I had good processes, good policies, good people, and a good product, I don't have to spend a lot of time with that. So we standardize on Data Domain. We lit that up as almost like a multi-tenant device, quite honestly. So we had part of it as a worm device, so I was, write once, read many type of device. That was my archive target. Once we moved everything over, we upgraded to Exchange. 2010, virtualized everything. networker 8.2 now. We actually just went to that upgrade. We implemented Simplicity for secure file and sync.
Okay.
So I've got a lot of this stuff within my data center that's helping us, act very mobile but keep everything secure.
And you have a target on site, and then you vault off site as
We
well.
replicate to Texas. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, and then talk a little bit about the sort of before and after, maybe sort of the business results.
Business results huge. I mean, at the end of the day, we probably saved about $195,000 on resources. I did a whole ROI on how much time am we actually spending, pulling things here, moving things around, and EMC's automation just makes it so easy.
So this is arms and legs, people time, right?
100%, yeah. I mean, product-wise, you save on maintenance, you save on heating costs. We went to a smaller data center. It's all the typical stuff you read out there, which I have to say I'm not a white paper fan. Usually it's made to sell, but it's as advertised. My deduplication rate on a lot of things are about 10 to 1, sometimes 12 to 1 on certain types of applications. So I'm really happy with the
Do you use any
results.
tape?
No, zero.
No tape, whatever.
Nope. Nope. We have replicated devices, so we actually have it bi-directional replication as well. And as I said, I set it up as multi-tenant, so we have it segregated per the user. So we have legal, we have HR, we have our healthcare division, we have general population, we have different states. Massachusetts. It's pretty good how we have it broken.
So this
up.
is essentially your archiving system, your email archiving system.
I'm like my own little service provider right now.
Like say legal holds.
Yep.
Any issues you have there, it's dealt with this infrastructure.
Yeah, we were able to, we upgraded everything to Source One as well for both SharePoint and Exchange. And we were able to, we actually had a situation where there was an employee, there was a breach, not that we caused, but we were part of the team at the customer. So we were requested to say, hey, do you have documents from their employee that was collaborating with us? And it was just a piece of cake for our legal department to go in without IT's intervention and pull all those documents out.
Let's talk about some advice that you give the customers. If you had to do it over again, would you do anything differently, and/or what would you advise people going through a similar project?
That's a great question. I would advise them to work with us on NCube, because honestly, if you don't align those 4 Ps up, process, policy, people, and product, you're just throwing these solutions out there. So we didn't do the best job of that, early on. I think we were too eager to have the archive, too eager to get this done, too eager, and we didn't take the time to plan properly. Second time around, which was this time that we're in right now, we definitely planned it, and we did a great job of not only achieving what we wanted to in those results, but we were in a much better state right now. So I'd tell customers, please try to take the time up front and plan it. Try to know. My whole thing, Dave, is corporate governance, okay? To me, data protection is a piece of corporate governance. Yes, is it secure? Is it compliant? But am I in a good corporate governance state? And right now we are.
Is it a boardroom discussion at your company?
100%, yeah.
Have you guys ever had to do a recovery?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't sell this internally as easy as I'm communicating this right now, okay,
So talk about that.
With the big Illuminate, with the
You know,
big
they say.
Illuminate, I had to go to finance, I had to go to legal, and they thought I was coming to push my thoughts and ideas on what we should do. And quite honestly, I think I did a pretty good job of, we are now governed. We're a Texas-based organization, Dallas, with entities in Massachusetts, Ohio, Kansas City, Nashville, Southern Texas, Oklahoma, so in Ohio Valley. We're all over the place, right? So what I was able to show them is basically legal documentation that a company based out of Texas, they have to adhere to all these different state laws and regulations, and Massachusetts is pretty clear. So I was able to sell them on the idea that we have to protect the business entity first. You don't want to be sued. Okay, so that's how we were able to roll this out in production. So it was all based on legal and compliance, and that's the key thing.
So that's kind of the original justification. Backup is, expensive insurance, let's face it. But there's a lot of talk in the industry about getting more value out of it. Obviously, the perpetual backup window, I always have this problem of trying to meet my backup window. Data growth is causing challenges for me. So what do you see as the future of data protection? Will we go beyond insurance? Will there be added business value? Will there be new ways of protecting data with all this, explosion going on that can help us with this backup window?
Absolutely.
Where do you see it going?
I see it there today, but we're not there. The industry is there. We're talking about it. It's analytics. It's all analytics. It's big data analytics. I mean, if you go back, you and I are aged a little bit, but that's a good thing now in IT. and because we have relevance and we can have a story and what goes around comes around. But I'm seeing, you know, where data warehouses were once built to build in all of this technology, but that's where data went to die. Everyone would say data warehouses, data went to die. You could pop on Cognos, on Oracle, and you know, it was the user. If they didn't know how to ask the question and go search the data, you weren't getting anything, okay? I look at backups now, that's live data. That's real data. It's backed up, I get it deduplicated and compressed and sent off from a compliant security data protection, but that's intelligent data. I'm not using that data effectively. People are throwing that away. So their investment in data protection, to me, they're seeing a third of it, okay? They should be looking at not just, is it a corporate governance thing, and am my data protected and backed up, can I recover? But can I mine that data? What can I do with that data? Is that data intelligent? Yeah, it's real stuff. I back it up every day.
So actually getting value out of that data that
100%.
used to just sit there and be sort of dead weight.
And it still does that today, by the way. We have customers that are building in these big Hadoop infrastructures just to do exactly what I said, and they're not touching backups. Well, no, the backups are the backups. No, that's not true. You know, this is like going back to the AS400 days where that box just stayed in the corner and nobody touched that, you know. So it's like, no, there's a lot you can do with that.
All right, good. About getting value out of your existing infrastructure and thinking ahead. So Jamie, thanks
Absolutely.
very much for coming on theCUBE. It's great to see you again.
No problem. Thank you, Dave.
All right, thanks for watching, everybody. This is Dave Vellante. This is CUBE Conversations. We'll see you next time.